If you're trying to level up your life, then changing your identity is the first step in becoming the greatest version of yourself. Changing your identity means changing your characteristics. Changing your characteristics means changing your actions. The Shark Identity Cycle, which stands for select, translate, recognize, initiate, keep score, and embody, is how you can figure out what to do based on the new identity you want to embody. And by understanding the characteristics, you'll be able to understand which actions to take in the moment. So, for the character Raw, as we went through last week, he has got many new characteristics compared to Ryan, and I'll explain them here. Raw is relentless, which means he does not stop. Fearless, which means he acts with courage. Faithful, which means he acts without needing certainty. Free, unleashed, unlocked, unhinged, unchained, all mean to be immune to judgment. Expressive means that Raw acts with honest passion. Attractive means that Raw acts with magnetism. Recovered means he acts with vitality. And supercharged means that Raw acts with intensity. In the moment, throughout my new future, Raw is going to have to pick which of these characteristics is going to translate into whatever actions come up. So, for example, all this social media stuff, YouTube, I have to be fearless to act with courage, which means that I'm going to have to post this even though I feel like I don't even know what I feel like right now. But doesn't matter because I act with courage regardless. Expressive, attractive, recovered means that I have to be my honest self even if it means being on film and doing so at the same time. I'm going to need to continually be recovered. Act with vitality. So what that means is not letting myself get burnt out. I've got to be much more aware of my own energy levels, aware of how much energy I've expended, how much rest I need to recuperate, and what practices I'll need to include or take away that are going to help me to act with as much intensity as possible. The reason that specifically naming the adjectives of your highest self is important is because in each moment you get to choose which actions to take based around these new characteristics. For example, if I'm going to be fearless, then it means that I've got to be real with you guys and I've got to post these videos regardless of how I feel about them or how I feel about myself putting it online. If I'm going to be relentless, it means I'm going to have to post these videos all the time. I'm going to have to do the training. I'm going to have to document the training. I'm going to have to write about my thoughts, my feelings, my ideas. I'm going to have to make the ads even if they look, feel, and don't perform that well in the beginning. Because all these characteristics are part of who I would like to be. If in the moment I get caught up in my emotions, I can ask myself, what would Raw do here? And if I'm about to post and I feel so much resistance and I think Raw would be fearless, he would be faithful and act without needing the approval of others, then it's an easier way to realize that the emotion behind what I'm thinking about doing next isn't what I should be focusing on. It's the actual action. That's what's going to move the needle forwards. Not in my life, everyone's life. Emotions are very frivolous. And to rely on emotions or have your backbone set on emotions means you're probably not going to get where you want to go because emotions inherently are up and down. So if you're acting out of characteristics, then you can design the character. If you can design the character, then you can choose how to act in the moment, specifically aligned to who you want to be or who your highest self character is. That new identity has to be recognized through adjectives and then through verbs. And once we can recognize the verbs, we can initiate the next action, the I. The K comes in, keep score. Maybe it's a journal, maybe it's the Max app, maybe it's a scoreboard you keep in your calendar, maybe it's just days ticked off. Anything that can show you that you're actually becoming the person you're setting out to be. Within my own Maxed app, I've got about 1,500 hours so far since my last update that I've tracked inside of what I've been doing so I can prove to myself that I'm becoming the person that I say that I am, even if it doesn't look that way on the outside just yet. I know on the inside, internally, I've been doing this work and I've been putting all the time in, and that's the most important part. So you need to keep score, because if you don't, then it's going to be much harder to look back on and think, oh yeah, I've really done it. If you're keeping score of every hour, every action, every task, then it's going to mean in a year from now, even if to the outside world things might not have changed very much, internally you know that you've done what you need to do. Because the thing about creating your new life is that it's like planting a tree. That seed is going to be under the ground for I don't know how long. For me so far, I think I started this journey 4.5 years ago, at like the very, very beginning, before I even realized what was going on. And I was watching and reading and learning and listening to podcasts and everything. 4.5 years of slowly pulling away what everything is and how everything works. Now, 2026, I feel like I'm just kind of almost budding through the surface, almost. And this is the point where maybe I see a sprout. So that's why you need to keep score. And the E comes from embodying, which is the practice of keeping score continuously. Because it's not enough just to keep score for a week or a month or even a year, but you have to keep keeping score, keep embodying this new character. This video series, Raw, exists to show you guys what's possible when you have as much recovery and as much energy as humanly possible integrated into your life. Without the products that we've been using for so long now, this business would not exist, simply because I wouldn't have had the energy available to process everything that I've gone through emotionally, logically, etc. through my life, to get back to first principles of why I feel the way that I feel, why I think the way that I think, and how to best help others whilst learning throughout this journey. The process of becoming my best self hopefully is going to help you guys become your best self by showing you my journey and letting you guys pick up on the steps that apply best to you. And this isn't something that I figured out on my own. I've watched tens of thousands of hours of business, psychology, psychiatry, spiritualism, etc. So much knowledge has gone into the creation of my mental schemas around business and life, and I have to share it with you guys. I feel compulsed to do so. That's why this business has the organic side, the YouTube side, set up the way that it is. Because it's not enough just to have ads that get people to buy our products, but we need to show you guys how much more depth there is to everything we're trying to accomplish. Because business at its core, just like martial arts, just like any sort of athletic training, any sort of higher goal, to self-actualize into whatever your greatest wishes and dreams are, means you need to be able to understand the mindset, and to understand the mindset means to understand beyond what's right in front of you. I think that's going to be a lot easier if I show you how I've been working through all this, because it's taken me a very long time to peel back the layers of life and to show you in real time what I've learned, how I've learned it, how I'm applying it, and giving you guys frameworks to take away from each of these videos is going to be the best way to do it. Relentless is probably the most important characteristic that Raw has compared to Ryan. He cannot stop. This entire business that we've built from the ground up is not allowed to be up and down anymore. Relentless means I cannot stop. Especially with the social media, making ads, doing all these organic posts, making sure that YouTube not only is consistent, but is cohesive and coherent with the goals we're trying to accomplish for Guardian Tape. Because at the end of the day, this YouTube channel and that business work hand in hand. Now I'm being super duper conscious about it, and being more expressive and being more open and being more honest about it, so I can show you guys how easy it really is. Externally, internally might be different. Like internally, I'm probably going to post this and feel like a fool for a little bit, and then I'm going to think, but that's not how I should be feeling, and then you can start to reprogram from there. Because if I want to act with courage, it means being scared. If I want to be faithful, it means acting with uncertainty. If I want to be relentless, it means I cannot stop regardless of how I feel. You guys see what I'm saying? And these kinds of characteristics are going to be mapped to you because you're going to have to do all this work yourself as well. So when you start to do everything you need to do, you do the meditating on who you want to be, what you want to do, how you want to get there, who you want to become at the end of it. Use the strike cycle as your framework, and it's going to help you to map out the steps really, really simply. So the strike cycle, again, select the identity, translate that into characteristics, recognize what characteristics map onto which actions, initiate the next available action, keep score, and then embody. Strike cycle. You keep doing that all the time, you do it every single day, I guarantee you within a year you won't recognize yourself. Even if it doesn't look like it to the outside world, it doesn't matter. Because you know that internally, who you're becoming is going to take a very long time. That's the point. This could be a 30-year thing for me. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. Like, I can't see the future. All I can see is the next available action and the characteristics that I want to embody because of the character that I want to become. You don't need anyone else to tell you who to be, how to act, what to do, because you're going to know deep down that your highest version of yourself does this because he is that or she is that. Use the strike cycle, let it help you. Let me know your results if you want to send me a message. Otherwise, thanks very much, guys. Much love, and I'll see you next time. If you've made it through this video all the way to the end, I want to offer you a 10% off voucher for Guardian Tape. If you message me the word Morpheus on our Guardian Tape Instagram page or my own page, Ryan Joseph Fitness X, then I'll send you a link and a code so you can get all of our products at 10% off. Thanks very much, guys. See you in the next one.